PTSD after they see how much money we make because they didn't take advantage.
Oh,
All right, let's start off with, yeah, well, first of all, welcome everybody. This is market analysis for Monday, November 11th. It just happens to be Remembrance Day. And in the greatest honor that I am capable of giving to the veterans, I am working diligently to make sure we stop making them. So today we're going to be chatting about this massive movement that we've experienced over the weekend in cryptos. The digital revolution is well on its way. This particular bubble is going to be the AI bubble. Before I get started, I want to really help people conceptualize just how big this is. If you remember last year, early in the year, ETFs were launched on Bitcoin and Ethereum. Well, what that did in essence is make it impossible for there to be enough cryptocurrency, because what they're doing is that they're selling paper contracts. They're selling ETFs, paper contracts on Bitcoin and Ethereum that hasn't been mined yet. So they essentially have created a Ponzi scheme, and deliberately. This was not unexpected. We in fact wanted it to happen so that we could start taking advantage of these movements that we're noticing now. And so, yeah, it's very important that for those who would like to experience this particular bubble, this is the AI bubble. This bubble is going to pop probably 3 to 6 months from now. We're just now starting to see the bottom of the vertical curves that are going to make up this bubble. And on the other side, it's going to result in a lot of people, and I'm going to say most people, are going to lose. And the reason why is because they haven't set up an exit strategy. It's one thing to say, oh, I got this great opportunity, and I've seen it many times, almost every cycle. There's a story about someone who made tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars and wasn't even able to withdraw it. And then, of course, on the other side of the bubble, the price drops and they lose everything that they made. So it is incredibly important that people recognize that when you're going into this, if you don't have an exit strategy, if you don't have a plan to take out your money as you are profiting, you will lose probably all of it. It's expected that on the other side of this bubble, the valuation of cryptos will probably drop by 90%. Now, that's not necessarily Bitcoin, Ethereum, but most of these altcoins that are experiencing the front end of this AI bubble will lose 90% of their value on the other side. So it's very important. This is why I'm saying this. It's so important that if you are getting into this, that you have an exit strategy. And if you need help with that, let me know. I'm more than happy to do free consults with people to get them set up, put them on the right path. It's not, and those free consults, they're not even really sales pitches. They are essentially, how do we make sure that you're set up? And then I point you in the right direction. Most of the time, the solutions are easy enough that you can find them yourselves. Some people want that extra guidance, and I'm more than happy to contract with them. But in essence, everything that I'm doing for my portfolio, I'm doing here. I'm showing people on these live analysis. So if you just need some help to get started, let me know. I'll be more than happy to meet with you and set up this plan of action for you so that you can profit. Honestly, these kinds of bubbles, it's actually the boring moves that make the most money. And you'll get to see some of those as we progress here over the next weeks and how they turn out. So let's get started. First of all, let's go through the precious metals. Silver, beautiful retracement coming back to a pivot point here that we found support with back on October, at the beginning of October, even mid-September. And since that time, it's been it's this area has been providing that support for this price movement. Now, we never even got up to the all-time high yet of 35.2. So the price coming back down this far is, well, it could very well be a reversal. We might see, especially as faith in the American economy has increased over this past week, it is entirely possible that we see the price of silver drop down on both price of silver and gold. Right now, it's not confirmed that it's a reversal, but we must be ready for it. And I'm actually hoping that it is, because one of my exit strategies is to actually take most of my cryptocurrencies and turn it into silver and gold tokens on chain. So now these are physical gold and silver that is actually backing the cryptocurrency that I'm holding. So that's my strategy, because after the bubble, gold and silver will likely start to revalue itself close to these levels that we're at today. So that is, again, if we have a reversal. If we have a reversal, the price action will drop below these lows here and probably come down to meet the pivot points that we see here. This one here is at 27.4. This one here is at 28. Yeah, 28-ish, 28.9, 29. We'll say 29. That's a psychological level there. So right now, it's yeah, definitely falling down at the moment. We'll see whether or not this area provides support. If it doesn't, we'll see it close below that and probably come down and find the next line, either 29, 27.5, or even $26. It depends. But there we have that. That's silver. Yeah, that's silver. Gold, after forming that high, of course, and then the election, since that time, we've seen gold prices drop. And in fact, if we zoom in a little bit here, I'll bring it over as well. You can see how the price, after this impulse here and formed this all-time high, it came back down significantly right here, and then it actually bounced back up and just touched this resistance line at 27.09. That resistance line is now driving that price down. So the bears are currently winning right now. We're almost at this pivot point, similar to what we saw in silver. And I actually do expect this to drop and fall underneath this, and possibly even come down to earlier, like levels from earlier this year, 2400, 25, maybe possibly even 2300. There was a major support here at 22. Yeah, this is 23 right here. There we go. So this 2300 level, it might actually be where the price of gold comes back down. If you've been buying, it's not wrong. It's still going to be going up eventually. What we're seeing here is simply a reprieve, if you will, from the economic terror that has been occurring over the last 4 years as the dollar has been collapsing. So dollar's still collapsing. That can't be stopped. All we're seeing is a renewed hope. And as misguided as it is, that renewed hope is allowing for gold prices to come back down. And the second reason why they're able to do this is because they're also selling paper contracts on gold and silver. So, and in fact, I think the last figure that I remember, this was like 2018 when I was doing this math, was that for every ounce of gold that is on the market, physical gold that's actually ready to go and purchased, and whether it's in a vault, basically if it's above ground and minted, for every ounce there are 300 people that think they own it. So that's not a good situation to be in. But the reason why that is possible is because, again, they're selling paper contracts on precious metals. They're selling gold that hasn't even been mined, similar to what we're noticing with Bitcoin and Ethereum, how there will never be enough cryptocurrencies to keep up with those ETFs. On to the Toronto Stock Exchange. Yeah, the Standard & Poor's Toronto Stock Exchange is tempting a new high. As you can see, this all-time high that we had just the other, last week, a couple weeks ago, 21st of October. That all-time high is, already being challenged. We can see that this retracement that occurred, after that high was formed, just before the election, there was that low. This was the 1st of November, and then as soon as that, it was the 5th of November. Since that time, it's been forming it's been coming back towards that new high. So at the moment, it looks like a little bit of a pullback from that area. I wouldn't be surprised if it continues to find new highs simply because of this renewed faith in the US dollar. Let's actually move on to that because new highs have been created in the Dow Jones. Good old Dow Jones. Brand new high formed at, what is this here? Today. That is today. I see it being 44,222. 44,222. So this new high, there's really no telling how much further it will go. This day here, this was the Wednesday. That was the day after the election. So lots of faith came into the US markets here, forming new highs every single day since. Already, it's actually formed a new high since we started chatting. Now it's 44,248.6. So it's climbing as we speak. Oh yeah, because orders came in. So yeah, we are at we're at the market open right now. All right, so moving on, we got Bitcoin. Bitcoin also forming new highs in a very similar fashion. This is, of course, because Trump has said that Bitcoin will become a part of his economic plan for America. And so since the election, again, almost new highs every day. Oh, except for Saturday. Saturday was not a new high, but every day since then, forming new highs. Now, in the past, that has been very much the case. Let's go back, because here is the 2020 election, and you can see even those first 6 months, 6 months or so, there was very little retracement. And then we can probably experience the same thing. New highs being formed all the time, especially as this is the base of that AI bubble. So we're going to see these numbers climb up, probably get to, well, 100,000 is expected by the end of the year, 150 by spring. There are some people who are saying that it will likely go to 200. To me, I feel that those are a little bit more speculative than necessary. We do notice that every election, the increase is smaller, but it makes sense because it's freaking $80,000 right now, right? $82,563 today is that high. Right now it's at 81.9. So Bitcoin is definitely showing its strength. Put yourself in the direction, put your money in the direction that the money is flowing. And then you start noticing how much more money you can make. And that's exactly what we're doing. We've been talking about how this digital revolution, this wealth transfer is occurring, whether we want it or not. And it's important to recognize where those opportunities are so that you can get involved when it's a good time. You want to take advantage of these opportunities when they show up. And if you can't, it's okay. At least follow along so that you can start to learn to identify the patterns, because that's all I'm doing. I'm just following patterns, and also follow the trends that are occurring. And what we're experiencing now is just beautiful. Ethereum, major breakout. Remember how I've been talking about for months how in order for us to know that we are actually in fact in a bull run, we need to see the price confirm a breakout outside of this trend line. Well, already we were juggling back and forth, testing a bull run here within this pennant. Well, there it was. On Wednesday, broke out. And then sure enough, Thursday, Friday, same thing. And we've been just forming highs ever since. Today, no new high there. However, we can see that we're also at a pivot point right now. And this pivot point rests at, what is this? This is at 3160. So it might hover here for a little bit. It may even retrace and bounce off of this trend line. Remember, whenever we have resistance on something, it usually ends up providing support. And so right now that price is actually has deviated quite a ways from this long-term trend line. So we're likely to see the price come back and retest this line before heading up to the purple line. But we're here. This is that breakout that I was asking for, to know that we are in fact out of this pattern here. And sure enough, we are out. Now we're just waiting to see what happens next. Yeah, ADA. This one is actually, I think if I'm not mistaken, out of all of the layer 1 coins, this one actually outperformed the rest. Because if we go back to what it was Wednesday last week when we were saying, okay, we're ready to go, election's over, let's go. Since that time, it has risen to 73%. I was saying when we first got started, I think there are going to be some people who are traumatized by how much money is made over the next little while, only because they refused to follow along. They refused to listen to what I had to say. I didn't have a whole lot of people refuse my suggestions in 2017, 2018 to buy some gold and silver, and they're definitely very, very happy. But I also have some friends that didn't take advantage of that time, and now they're asking. So I think that we're going to see a similar thing happen again, simply because, pattern recognition is something that it helps when you develop it. Don't just trust me. Thanks. If you want to do that, that's great. Trust me. But trust me when I say this, you're going to want to be able to recognize these patterns yourself so that you can go out and make this money without me around. Like, water your own garden. You feel a lot more empowered, you feel a lot more self-responsible. And of course, economically, the more you can have self-responsibility over your economics, the less the government can. And that's one of the reasons why I don't really care what the governments end up doing. I don't care who gets elected because it doesn't have anything to do with me. That's controversial. But here we are, Cardano breaking out, coming up to, this is the resistance level here. Let's just mark it off here. This is what? 62 cents US. Let's go with a 6 because we're going to be here. Actually, no, let's go with a 5 because we're going to be here a while. Okay, so right now we are finding resistance at that 62 cent level. We may find a retracement coming back to the 51 level. That'd be good. If you are looking to buy, certainly put it across 3 or 4 different installments. Don't do it all at once. I would say go for one right now and then wait to see if we come back down to this level here, because then that way, instead of getting it all at this point here, you can lower the average cost per coin by buying again. So split your investment up into 3 different positions and buy the dips. As it goes down, you're buying more and you're lowering that average cost. As the opportunity takes off again, you'll be making more money that way than if you just go all in right now. Now, if you think, and you could very well come to the determination that this isn't going to retrace, that we are in fact on a very aggressive bull run, and that this is all we're going to get, well, then you might just go ahead and put it all in. That's fine. Just recognize that dollar cost averaging is a strategy that is used by the wealthy to maximize their gains, especially in bull markets. So Cardano's definitely broken out of that trench that we had. You can see that channel was definitely, because this, again, that channel is that was very indicative of what a lot of coins were experiencing during this last 3-4 months. And this breakout is very, very positive, especially when the targets for this particular asset is to bring us back to that $3 mark. So again, if you think about it for a second, I was telling people to get this when it was down here. Here's 33 cents as the bottom of this pivot zone, 33 cents. The increase, this is an L1 coin, folks. This isn't even an AI coin. This isn't some overhyped, crazy 23x meme coin. No. This is a layer one cryptocurrency that has the potential to go from this 33-cent location, this 33-cent mark, up to $3. That's an 816% return. Yes, if you're not following me, you very well are likely to regret such a move. All right, XRP, let's move on. Look at how that one's risen as well. We were out below this channel here and we've dipped ourselves back in and in fact shot above this middle pivot line here. So this trade here that this one here we marked as kind of a short-term trade to watch as that price comes back up towards the top of this channel. Audrey actually got a position here and is looking to grab that 30% rise as we come back up, only to sell and re-enter when it comes back down to test the bottom line right there. So
looking good.
Yeah, it sure is, isn't it? Sure is. So definitely keep our eyes on that one. Be ready. I think if I remember correctly, Audrey, you put in a pending order to sell automatically at a certain price, right? Or was that just a notification?
No, that was just an alert.
Yeah, okay, cool. So yeah, put your alerts in, folks, because we are moving quick. Modic, look at that, same thing. Polygon, moving up from that, that 29-cent level, coming up 37% over the last week to the 40-cent level. So 40.44 right now. Beautiful, basically 40.5 cents. And we found some resistance at the 42-cent level, and it looks like we're dipping back into this pivot zone. If there's a retracement, it might come back down to test this level here because this has provided, and I say this level, and this level here. In the past, that has provided a great deal of support. And so it could very well be that we've shot up here and that we will be coming back down to retest that line before heading up to the next resistance level. The fact of the matter is that if you really look at this, we weren't breaking out of this long-term trend anytime soon, but we are definitely breaking out of it now. You can see as this last 4 days, we've definitely shot out with aggressive growth. Solana, same idea. We dipped back down into this pivot zone there right before the election, and then sure enough, election comes on November 5th there, and ever since then we've been forming new highs. Oh, the only day that we didn't was Saturday. Of course, it was the weekend. So here we have great movements. That is a 36% pull right now into the bullish direction. It's actually already getting close to that all-time high. In fact, all of this year, we are formed an all-time high for this year, moving our way to the all-time high, which occurred, when did that occur? That occurred back in 2021. So Solana is definitely, there's nothing holding it back. There are no pivot points between here and the top. So that all-time high is very attainable right now for the price. Once it gets there, I think there will be some more resistance, just a psychological thing for the traders, but it will be short-lived, maybe a week, and then coming back to shoot through that all-time high and form all kinds of new highs. It is expected to be $500 by the end of this cycle. Right now at 218, that's a very strong movement. Doge also breaking out. Look, not quite past. There are two more lines of resistance to take into consideration. Let's just mark them off here. So mark it 5, and the next one we'll mark it as 6. But these two pivot points here, or these two lines, are providing some resistance. So right now we're just about coming up to the next one. So we broke through here on, what day was that? Oh, yesterday. Look at that. Sunday, we broke through that 21-cent barrier. and I've been shooting up since then. We're even touched 30, I think. Yep, 30.3 cents is the high that was formed already today. And yeah, I know that this one is also going to do very, very well. Likely getting up to the $10 range. Well, right now it's at 28 cents. So yeah, I don't even know what the math is on that. Let's just go see. So right now, 28 cents. Going up to $10. That's a 3,300% growth. Now, $10, that is I'm saying again, that's pretty high octane speculation. But all of it's all just crypto, folks. It's forming this new economy. The backing of the fourth industrial revolution is almost entirely in cryptos. So yeah, TRX, beautifully consistent as always. However, we are noticing that whenever we get up to these lines, we are inching out a little bit further. I'm going to zoom in so we can see. So instead of just touching the lines like we were here and back over back here, we're just touching the line. Touch there, and here there's another very, very brief test, and then there's this. That results in pressure being driven up, and then here we can see it came out and even put some pressure pushing down. Well, this is an accumulation of energy, I call it. You can expect the following movements to be a lot more vigorous, and in fact, it may even widen this channel as it progresses. Okay, so these two here are going to end up getting wider and wider apart, especially if this kind of thing continues. If that's the case, well then, you have lots of money making opportunities because you can bounce off of this. I mean, just this tiny channel here, just this little channel, you can move up and down. Look at this, that's 8% in a matter of 9 days, passively. You go ahead and sell that, increase your position by 5-6%, and you're compounding your compound interest. It's just good math right there. Injective token, making out some new highs here. We can see that this trend line, just like we had talked about, it broke out there at the middle of September and then used that trend line as support. You can see as that used the support, the highs were still coming down lower, but all it needed was a few touches of the support. It looks like 4. Breakout, 1, 2, 3, and 4 touches on the top side of this trend line, and now we're forming up some new highs. So this is indication of a major breakout. This, yeah. So injective token, thank you very much. Looking forward to seeing what you can help us do as the months progress. This breakout is definitely the sign of more growth incoming. 3 protocol, kind of the same thing. This one here though, whiplashes a lot every single day, but we can see that today we actually tested the resistance at 12 cents. Now it failed, it's come back down, a little bit of a retracement, but that's nothing to be too concerned about. Let's go to the 15-minute chart here so we can see just how much movement there's been. So yeah, we can see here this big push that's occurred over the last, just this morning. This push here was a 50% growth. 50% from here to there. Oh no, right there. That's a 50% growth that occurred in a matter of hours. 2 hours and 15 minutes. So this kind of movement, we're likely going to see more of that. Might find some support again here at the 8.8 cent level, but at the same time, be prepared. Honestly, because of how long of a play this is, I would say get in. Don't spend too much time wasting, or don't waste too much time on analyzing it. Put your money in the direction of the flow of the market, And yeah, these are all doing really well. Woo, not forming a new high yet. Oh no, yeah, we did beat out this high. So look at that. This big deep retracement was just another big test. And I kind of figured this would be happening. We have this strong bearish movement coming down here, forming a new low. Now it didn't go lower than this, so technically it's not a breakout. But this is a deep retracement, grabbing lots of accumulation here. I can tell you right now, a lot of founders' wallets came in at this level here throughout this whole period of time. So coming up now, Woo is definitely showing some great strength, forming a new high, likely to test out this high or this pivot point at 25.8 cent level, so 26 probably. We're going to be watching for that breakout next. Once we get out of that one, we'll likely see faster movements going up, following the pink line at the moment. Pink line is the current trade plan. So I would say that, yeah, 36 is where we're going to see the next major point of resistance. BitTensor, look at that, how it has grown over the last little while. After this big retracement that came at the beginning of the month, ever since then, coming up now up 36% in the last 7 days. Fantastic growth coming out of this one. Remember, this is expected to surpass Ethereum. And if it does that, then we can, and Ethereum is expected to be 5 grand. So this one here, likely to go north of $5,000. Folks, this is a huge asset, providing massive infrastructure for big tech companies to run their AIs, databasing, like all that stuff. This one is expected to 10x. This is where we're at. It's just the nature of the market and where we're at right now. DeSync, beautiful growth since the election. You can see now we're actually looking to break out of this 23 cent mark. Finding some support, looks like, on that trend line that we had been forming for a long time. This one right here. This trend line is now providing support for the price. We'll likely see, a day or two consolidating, maybe even dip back down into this pivot zone here to find support before taking off. We can see there are a lot of pivot points, so definitely we'll be seeing some resistance along the way. This is a longer term project, so I don't expect it to just, take off right away. This one here is going to be coming in stages. And once we get past the all-time high, there's no telling what's going to happen. But DeSync is doing really well, providing, again, infrastructure, storage, and hosting for AI and web content. 0x0 private AI, again, showing some strength over the last little while. Very encouraging to see, especially since I actually added to my position way back here in the beginning of September. And I don't think I did another one. Did I? No, I didn't. So yeah, right now, let's go back, 7th of September. There it is. So 7th of September, I added to my position. My first one that I put in the middle of June, that is actually down right now. I just came in too early in a sense, but this is a perfect example of dollar cost averaging, because when I first purchased, my average cost per coin was 22 cents, 22.2. Well, the next time I looked at this account and I had some more liquidity to add, the price was down here. Well, then when I added my position here, I actually added a larger position at this point than I did at the first point. This point here, I don't know, I think it was 500 or something like that. This point here was double that. I don't remember what it was, but I just know I doubled it. So the doubling of the price brought my average cost per coin down to like 12-13 cents. So instead of my average price per coin being 22 cents and just getting another position here of the same size, and then now my average price is halfway, Now I increased the size of this one. This is a very, very aggressive dollar cost average strategy. By adding a larger position here at a lower price, I'm bringing my average price even further down. So now my average price per coin is hanging out around 12 cents. Well, this is expected to be $1 by the end of this cycle. Some people are even saying by the end of this year. Well, the all-time high is 54 cents. So double that again, and that's where they can expect to go. Well, my dollar cost average putting me at the price point of around 12 cents. Now, the growth that I'm going to experience coming back to the all-time high is a 320% increase. But remember, that's only at 54 cents, the all-time high. Being expected to go up to $1, that changes things. And math is not an exact science. However, $1 gives me a 700% increase on these two positions, both of them, because I'm averaging, this is my average cost per coin. Beautiful. Right now, in fact, because of how much this is in profit, I'm actually making more money in this distance than I've lost in this one. From this point here, from when I first purchased, I am drawn down. I am not profiting from that first purchase. But because of the dollar cost average, even though I haven't even come back to my original price, I've made more money here in this last trade than I've lost on this one, because the position of the second trade is so much larger. It's double the size. So that's, yeah, I like to show that one. That one just worked out so well with the dollar cost averaging that I have to share. ARK, same kind of thing here, except I think this is the one that my second purchase, oh no, I have one in here somewhere where my second purchase was at a higher price because, well, I had the liquidity and I needed to nab the opportunity. But ARK here, another private AI project, lots of infrastructure being built here, coming into utility phase in the next few weeks. And so we don't see the same kind of aggressive movement, but that's okay. I actually find this particular asset to have good level-headed approach to this whole thing. And I think that that's one of the reasons why we're seeing it consolidate a little bit longer. We're seeing smarter money notice these opportunities. And so it's going to move a little bit slower than, say, 0 by 0 or, or Woo, for example. But we can see that over the last few days, this was on Saturday, a new high was created. In the past, our highs were getting lower all the time. Our high, this is a high here. It got lower and lower again, but now it's higher. So this is a potential, this is giving us an indication that we are ready for a breakout. And as we progress, let's get the mouse out of the way. So as we progress, the next level that we're looking to test would be this one here. That's at the 3 cent level. So that's going to be the next one. Once we get above that, then we can start challenging this 3.7, 4 cent level. And then we start climbing that ladder back up to the all-time high. That's ARK. Link AI, another AI project, private AI project that has been doing very well over the last week, especially since the elections. This one here is even more of a conservative project simply because it's a lot newer. This is a very, very new project, only starting at the beginning of this year in April. And so this one here doesn't have the same kind of formation as a lot of the other ones because it doesn't have the same history. It wasn't around here for the last bubble. It wasn't here for the last bull run. And so this one here is poised and ready to go and show off its true colors. All-time high is way up here at 29 cents. So right now at 15 cents, that'd be almost a double. You're looking at 86% increase in your position. We can see that this trend line that was formed over the last few months has been sufficiently broken out. Don't be scared if there's a retracement coming back. That might be actually what you wait for too. Because this is a new high, we can expect a retracement. And that retracement's most likely going to grab the top end of this pivot zone. So if you wanted to wait, you could. It's not wrong to buy now though, because again, this one's also supposed to be $1. DEAI, 01 Labs. Well, after that all-time high was formed after the election, we've seen it retrace a little bit, coming back into the pivot zone. That is just a good sign. It means it's on sale and ready for people to grab this position. Once we break out of this all-time high here, I think that we're going to see the main coins like Ethereum and Bitcoin kind of make their first moves. Doge will probably make some more new moves before we see these altcoins take off the way that we think that they are. We're going to still see growth in the meantime, but it'll be more, you know, gradual, stepping up these pivot points. Whereas once Bitcoin is at 100,000, I think that's when the psychological effect of that price is going to take root in people's minds, and they're going to be flocking to cryptos. And when that occurs, that's when these alternative coins are going to be they're going to be performing the most. I know a lot of people, what they're doing is that they're going to take this next couple weeks, and the gains that they make from the main coins, they're actually going to be moving them. So they have a very, very short-term strategy. Put it into the you know, the Ethereum, Bitcoin, ADA, you know, well, even injective token. They're going to be putting it into those to experience the growth over the next little while. Once Bitcoin reaches about 100, a lot of those people are going to be taking their gains that they get, you know, their 80%, 100% gains that they get from those smaller movement coins, and dumping them into the 10x's and the 20x's and the 40x coins that are expected to grow over the next 6 months. So they're compounding their compound interest on that as well. DEAI, that's where we're at right now. Yeah, so this one here, 0 Labs, I think that we're going to see this one here make its breakout and really take off. And I think if I remember correctly, 01 Labs was thought to be around $8 or $9 as well. So, you know, that's more than a 10x from here. This is a new asset that I've actually added to my plate. I don't think I put in my position. Nope, I didn't. So this one here was one that came across my desk late last week, and I had to get it because I was looking at just the overall of this one. This growth here, it's very, very strong. We didn't see the same level of retracement that we normally do with these coins. Usually after a big pulse like this, we see it come back down to an entry point that is similar to when it started. It didn't happen. And in fact, after the election, we have seen new highs already being formed similar to other patterns. The market cap on this one here, I'd have to look back again, but this one here is poised and ready to go. Major infrastructure for gaming is being developed within this ecosystem. I'm very, very excited about this one. Expected to go to $1. I think it actually was $1 at one point, just shy. Yeah, 88 cents. So expected to be $1. So that'll be a 3x coming back up to $1. But then beyond that, through this run, again, expected to be $8, $9, $10 by the time this next 6 months are over. FAR. Look at that. Now, finally, I think it's settled up, almost settled where I first purchased. So I made this purchase here. Oh, I want another one. This was on October 8th. And it's kind of been messing around, or mucking around as they say, down to this low here, shot up there. And that was on Wednesday, the day after the election, shot up and has retested this pivot zone, the bottom end of this pivot zone. Over the next little while, again, I think this one here is going to be a little bit more delayed, a little bit longer of a time, but I'm in. I'm in and ready to go for when that occurs. I'm not waiting until this tells me it's going up. I'm waiting and going to be making lots of money when it makes that first movement. And I think that first one, honestly, because we're under a cent right now. We're under a cent right now. Oh my goodness. And this is expected to go up to $1. So, you know, between here and the all-time high, that is a 28%, 2,300% growth. 2,300% growth. That's not $1. No, that's if it gets to 21 cents. So when this gets to $1, it's going to be insane. Now, I don't know if it'll go to $1 in this next cycle or not. It doesn't really matter. I'll know when I'm out, and we'll come back in on the other side. So Gala, another infrastructure coin for gaming. OFAR, same thing. This one is, the FAR though is more so, not so much infrastructure, but rather how do we incorporate AI in gaming to have AI generate the environment of the avatar as the avatar is moving through the environment, instead of having to spend all of those time, all the time and resources. Right now in gaming, in video gaming, most of the resources spent are actually spent in programming the environment. But now with AI being able to do it, when you take a look at what's coming out with Unreal Engine, just YouTube, Unreal Engine, AI generation, something like that, and you're going to see environments that are generated by AI on the fly, and they are incredibly fast. Incredibly fast. So now the avatar in your video game, or rather video game production, the cost of video game production is going to plummet because 80-90% of the development is spent on programming the environment. If AI can do it for you, so that's why this is a bubble. We're going to see AI and gaming coins really take off over the next 4 to 6 months as this foundation is set for the future. Gala, no different. Great ecosystem specifically for gaming. We can see that it's actually hit this resistance point at the 2.7 cent mark. With this one here, oh yeah, I did mark this one, awesome. So I purchased this on November 7th. And since that time, it's already grown quite a bit here. Let's just see. It's already gone up 19% here over the last 4 days. We're going to see more of this movement. I think that, again, it'll be a little bit of delay from the other coins, but we may see Gala even come up to this 4.4 cent level, which would be already in the range of doubling my investment. This one here, once we're here, I think there'll be some resistance, so there'll be other buying opportunities. But with this also expected to be $1 by the end of the cycle, $1 by the end of the cycle? Yep, that's correct. $1 by the end of the cycle. I have it marked here at 85 cents, and that's a 3,700% growth. So I could be 37xing my money on this particular trade. Could be. It's not for sure. But again, this is the AI bubble, folks. You wanted to make money in the dot-com boom? You missed it? Okay, no problem. Grab this one, because this one is going to shatter records. Completely destroy. There's going to be a whole new standard of tycoon being created out of this bubble. So IMX is another gaming infrastructure coin that I'm checking out. I haven't bought into this one yet, but it's in a great position now at $1.30. Market cap here was well over $250,000. In fact, I think it was even more. Let's go to coin market cap. I should have this one just sitting here. Yeah. So market cap is actually $2.2 billion. That changes things. Full value is estimated 2.6 billion. Volume is $150 million a day. Yeah, this is just crazy. This is crazy. That volume has gone up significantly over the last little while. Centralized exchanges certainly have the most volume. I use decentralized exchanges. But yeah, so Here we are, seamless transactions directly with games. Yeah, so they've got some new announcements here. Even Immutable unveils in-game signing for Web3 gaming, allowing seamless transactions directly within games. And this is going to be the big thing that we see as the gaming industry takes over and really drives this bubble. Yeah. Yeah, this is going to be incredible. I think that we're going to see this be a common theme within the leading developers where, hey, transactions are seamless. You don't have to worry about, doing this and that and moving coins over, and it's going to be a very, very easy transition. People are going to be able to move their cryptocurrencies around from game to game, by the way. And that makes it very, very interesting. No taxable events on any of that because it's all just video games. And if you do need some exit strategies to avoid paying taxes, let me know. I can help you out with that lawfully, by the way, lawfully. So yeah, Immutable, that's doing well. MIMX, I think that's, oh no, we got the meme coins to go through. Sundog, yeah, Sundog has got some life coming back to it after its great big drop. The position that I have is still not in profit, but I'm not, again, it's just a meme, not too concerned about it. There's another position here. I don't know who took that. I don't think I did. I didn't add to Sundog. Anyway, Bonk. This one's got a breakout. You can see that we've actually broken out of this pennant here totally. And we just challenged this line right here. That's 4 zeros and a 2. Expected to be 2 cents eventually. That's a lot. 2 cents. Isn't that crazy? This is like wilder than penny stocks. Because right here is 4, is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros and a 2. And it's going to, 2 cents. So where's 2 cents? There it is, right there. So 2 cents is a 74,000%. $74,000. That's a 747x. Whether that happens or not, I don't care. $100. That's what you do with those. You just throw an inconsequential amount and see what happens. NPC, non-playable coin. Accumulating, actually, consolidating very, very well at this point here. Formed that new high there back on October 12th and is poised to do it again. The market cap on this one, isn't it crazy? It's a meme. It's a meme. And I'm going to go ahead and grab it, and we can see there's $230 million in the meme. It is also, look at this announcement here, 12 hours ago. 41 minutes ago, right there. NPC is going to be listed on 3 exchanges. Exchanges. That's where the coins go. That's where legitimate assets go. A meme is being traded on the exchanges. I actually think that we're going to see memes really experience a lot of growth over the next 3 months, 4 months, simply because the meme coins are kind of like that entry point into the community of people that are working diligently on the development. You get the meme first. By having the meme in your wallet, you gain access to this community or that community. I think we're going to see an evolution of this where it's almost like the meme is the early top of funnel marketing campaigns that these ecosystems are going to be utilizing. And you know what? You got to follow where the young people go. I mean, that's what TikTok did, right? Snapchat, all of these apps that had to do with social sharing and literally creating memes. I mean, some of those video platforms for a long time, you couldn't do more than a 30-second video. What could you do in 30 seconds? Literally, meme. And the youth memed their life. I know people who are 16, 17 years old whose, their parents have shared with me that they basically memed their way through their teens. So the memes are where the young people are going because it's how they're communicating with each other. And it's shifting how the market moves entirely and creating entirely new realms of possibility for these ecosystems, because now it's like, hey, we don't have to ask people to make tons of investments in us. We just got to get them to join our community. And to do that, just got to buy a meme. I think that's it for market analysis today. What a wonderful day. Thanks so much for joining. I'm going to be going now into our private session with our private members. If you would like to be a private member, let me know. Send me a message or leave a comment and I'll show you how to get started. Again, if you need some free help, just go to my website, manknownaspaul.com/connect. I should make a banner for that. Let's see here. I think I can do that. There we go. So there we are. Go to manknownaspaul.com/connect. Schedule a time where we can meet up and I can help you get set up for this big wealth transfer. Thanks so much for joining. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow.